Karana, and welcome to Waitakere, the most beautiful of all the Cook Islands. Here are my top 5 reasons of why you should come to our little paradise. Number 1, it's the most beautiful lagoon in the world. But when you look at our lagoon, it's so beautiful, you'll have to look at it like this. Look too much in one go, and you're hooked. You'll never leave. Wait. That's not a submarine, that's a whale. Sorry, whale. Hey, you don't believe me? The first tourists here came by boat on the HMAS Bounty in 1789. You know the boat with Mel Gibson, Mutiny on the Bounty? It all happened just after the sailors came here and looked like this. They never wanted to leave. Tell them to look like this. I've already told them. Sheesh, tapi ito ano tumutuyok ko yo. Pacha magabang. Oh, and which reminds me, on number 2 on our list, we have the most beautiful people in the world. Whoa! I think I can see some mermaids. And our people are so welcoming.
Karana! Elamay kay Mang! Ano kaya? Son, you have to go get some more food. We've got some more beers here. Go. Come, Vicky.
Hey, you think this kid is so cute? You are looking like this again. Remember Mutiny on the Bounty? Well, Mutiny on your airplane ride home, more like it. Like, turn the plane around. I want to go back to Waitakere and live there forever. Now that's what I call Waitakere fast food. Oh, and which reminds me, on number 3 on our list, the food. It's fresh, locally sourced, and served with a distinctly local flavor. And number 4, in Waitakere, it's always island time. Let's go party. Let's go dance.
Kamo mai ita o titia, e titia ia mama, ai.
And our favorite sport of all, chasing chickens.
I got a beautiful chicken. I got the most beautiful chicken. Mine's the most beautiful chicken in the whole village. I caught a piglet.
And finally, number 5, it's so easy to get here, but we're a whole world away. Whee! Kentucky with loads of connecting flights every day. In fact, you'll love everything in our little paradise except saying goodbye.
I don't want to go.
Sheesh, she was just here for a day trip. Imagine all week. Next.
Never mind.
So we've kept all of our 200 plus staff on at all of our 3 resorts, and they're involved with the total upgrade of the whole facility. We're doing sprinkling of every aspect of the facilities. We're introducing new facilities. We're taking every room apart. We're introducing new menus. We're introducing new activities programs. We're introducing new kids clubs programs. We've kept all the staff on with the help of the government, which has been fantastic. There's been no redundancy so far. It's on the minimum wage, but we've been able to keep everybody productively employed in working towards the reopening, which we expect to take place in the next 2 to 3 months. So I think the Cook Islands tourism will come back better and stronger. This has been a body blow, but we'll be going back to our strengths of reimagining how to present the uniqueness of the Cook Islands, the cultural uniqueness, the ability of people to access nature, the marine reserves, that we'll get into more eco-friendly, probably more intensive relationship between the environmental management and the tourism industries in terms of keeping our marine reserves well utilised, well protected, well conserved, much more integration with the fantastic cultural events we have, like the Outreach Canoeing and the Ukulele Festival. There's a lot of support in the business community to try and assist across the community and to keep people, businesses moving forward. And there's a lot of work going in with government to try and come up with a coordinated national whole of government, whole of private sector response. It's been tough, you know, it's been tough for everybody. It's the scale and pace of the shutdown. I mean, we went from 3 hotels with 80% occupancy, our best ever year, to 3 hotels that were shut. We went from 3 airlines servicing the country to effectively none. So the pace at which things have changed have been breathtaking.
Kia ora from our little paradise, where everyone is welcome like family. Like any family, there are house rules. So listen to your aunties, Let's talk about what to wear in our little paradise. Music, please, maestro. Please show respect and dress modestly. We ask you not to wear brief or revealing attire when visiting town, churches, or villages. If in doubt, dress like a local. Topless or nude sunbathing on the beaches will cause offence. Pack light, wearing comfortable and casual attire. For the gentlemen by day, t-shirts, shorts and swim trunks. By night, short sleeve button-ups or polo shirts with slack. For the ladies, swimwear and sarongs by the pool and the beach. Sundresses, resort wear and smart casual for dinner. And for footwear, sneakers or flip-flops. Don't forget activewear and comfortable shoes for those little adventures. And for everyone, remember sunscreen, insect repellent, hats, sunglasses, water shoes and essential toiletries for a safe stay in our little paradise.
When people arrive, I'll be the first impression they'll see me there. I'm sure they like it. I've been doing this for 35 years. Yeah, and I'm still doing it. It's a long time. One old lady the other day, she said, "Oh, it's good to see you. I was expecting to see you when I came." Yes, in the beginning I work at the fire station, so when the plane is coming down, I'll be on the fire engine. Yeah, and when the plane stops, I get off, I change, I rush up to and greet the people over there. Well, most of the flights in the evening comes about 10 o'clock. One of the Air New Zealand flight gets here about 1:30 in the morning. So, well, I had to be there. It was a few years ago. I was on my way back from the airport because I've been working the whole day, and then that night I went to the airport. So when I came home, I fell asleep. I was driving. Lucky, my truck went into the hedge and stopped right in front of the coconut tree. Since then, my wife won't let me go all by myself. She has to be the driver to drive me home. She always comes with me. Yeah. Kia orana is a very important word to say. Kia orana is more than this word. It's the spirit of welcoming, you know. That means we love you. We welcome you. Yeah, when I'm singing, I have that spirit in me. It's really in my heart, you know. You feel it. I sing to make you happy. How long will I do it? Well, all depends. It all depends with the man up there.
Talofa lava, whawhelo ai atu I lau mai moa mai, le tatopo kalamele nei o tawhaonga sila ma mai moa I le lalelei o Samoa. O le vai asa nei ua ngai mai ele tatopo kalame I le mototele I Puleono I Salawhai. Se au tau sila foi, I mataanga whapea foi I talaanga. O si mai alau sila ma lau mai moa. Talofa lava and welcome back to this edition of Tawhaonga, experiencing our beautiful Samoa. My name is Neva Gitlow of the Sava'i Samoa Tourism Association, or the SSTA, and I'll be your host for the remaining episodes where we will be touring the big island of Savaii, welcoming you to the real Samoa. Leading on from the last few episodes, covering the rest of Upolu Island, Manono and Apolima Islands, this show aims to showcase our God-gifted natural sites and demonstrate the talents by our various tour guides as a profession. And to help us experience the beautiful Savaii is our guest tour guide for this week, the owner and director of Island Wheels Company, Sam Ngaluvao. Talo falava, Sam. How are you? Now, before we start off on our adventure today, could you tell us a bit about Island Wheels Company and how long you've been doing this for in Savaii?
We've been doing this almost 20 years ago, and we're based in Avao, right next to Nasi, where most of the accommodation, beach farming, beach retail. And we mainly work with the tourists, take them around, tour the island, and arrange pickup from the ferry terminal to Nasi, or from Nasi to other.
And what started this passion of taking tours around the big island?
Well, experience make a change. You know, it seems I love it because I meet different people, and apart from that, see the locals, like the village life, and then switch to see the tourists. That's cute.
Can you tell us a bit more about the full coast of Savaii?
Alright, well, we're working together with Savaii Samoa Tourism Association, and we break down, just to make it simple, the coast. And it's good, you come in the ferry and you feel very relaxed. And it's, that's the only we can offer to you people, is a peaceful and relaxed holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do the ferries operate daily?
Yes.
And is it the only way that you can get across?
The ferry is a very official, common entry to the island. But apart from that, there's also small planes. But it's the only thing what I've heard is you can charter a flight if you're in emergency or you're really in a rush. But for normal schedules, it's been on and off.
Now for today, where are you taking us today, Sam?
Alright, we'll take you to the surf coast, and we're cruising a little bit because here at the wharf it's closer to the market. You see around a little bit of the market is not commercialized. It's just something for survive, you know, at least enjoy life, you know. Yeah, and then we have more some sites like Siapo demonstration and waterfall, and most phenomenal and famous water blowholes.
Well, thank you, Sam. Shall we start?
Let's kick off.
Thank you.
It's a big island.
Ol moli leleta o ol moli Samoa?
Molisaina.
Molisaina.
Yeah. There's ripe bananas, the fingers, we call lady fingers. Yeah. And it's good to put the market. Once you share a smile to the women, you can negotiate the price.
You get a discount.
Get a discount. Yeah, it's all about share a smile and enjoy life. Yeah.
Is it mango season now, Sam?
Yeah, it's not all of over the island. It's some parts of the island. Yeah, it's nice.
Fika ulau kau mango lia?
Ikaw lang mango.
Luta like tau mango.
Oh, this is cheap.
So do I get a discount that I'm a lady?
Oh yes. Give her a good talk and we'll share you a mango. See, it's cheap. It's supposed to be 30 tala. Nice. Did I have it for 5 tala?
Sorry, 8 tala.
Oh, not for today. Yeah, that's all.
No discounts today, Sam.
Yeah.
It's only Monday.
This is very important drink to the Samoan life. It's the ava tree. It's very, we start off special occasions together with the ava. But here at the place, we use as a koshik tree. And it's good to make your body feel numb. So when you drink the ava, you say manuia. Manuia. This is one place of everything, and it's only one market here on Yoran. So you can find everything, not just within the market, but there are some set-up stores and supermarkets that will help for your variety of selections. And this is where all the farmers come to meet and sell their produce, and all the bus stations are here. So you will find it the right one place. So coming to the market is something to look forward and to enjoy on your way to see around the island.
It's a must-see.
Yes, it is a must-see. Welcome to the Kalauri Heritage Trail here in Waikaumuri. It's also known as the Star Mount. It's one of the old stories of the village, and it's good, the village chiefs and the Matais are here. O whare kuara, o sori whare mai are, o ngei o ngō leo, o lo iei se kalaanga, e siri o ka ua ngei sawai, e me se fōi o kua whioanga ngei Palauri. Mera le pe kusai mo fingalo ya pe ka paso fingalo e kusai foi markala angol fituma. Ole vanga le le tuma. Ya o me an fusi ya sum pai. Le lo un gato pulanga sa la to foi nei me. Ai o lo ye masalonga le numi. Ni me sa foi in chapo inga. Ya so ma vai yo sei tunang fa pena wai sei e iba ia vai ole tuba yo sarola la ima so salong fa pe la ima le ma en no fole ma cho la ima so salong fa pe ma le la sa no fo changa cha pe o sei o yel na sa fa ulu ya yele lai fon ya nga sei tunang fa pe yo masa song na nei nu ele se si tulang ho fa pe o se me sa fa i ma to pe e ai me o leva ya la wa ma wa ya fa cha ya tu ni e vo mtanga ro nga me se ta tu si ma re fa di ni ma cha ma tu fi. This is the siapo making. As I said earlier, this island is more traditional, and it's one of the practices still carried on from the generations, from the girls up to the women's. It's a pleasure, to have her. She was the starting of all the demonstrations of the siapo. Now she's passing over to her daughter. And she's taking care of it because it needs a little bit of exercise. In the village we have a women's committee, and they have weaving, and there's also siapo demonstration. Yeah, and it's from the tree called mulberry or the mulberry tree. Over to you, Pito. She used to use the bamboo as a knife. Yeah, now she's using the knife. It's very simple. That's the first step. Take away the skin out of the tree. That's cold water. It's like 3 times or 4 times bigger than from its original size. Demonstration goes up some. Yeah, now you see the pattern. The last one is painting. From the start, strip off from the stick, and she's also used it for the color. She burn it and to make the charcoal and to have the color black. It is also ideal for her to discipline her kids. Yeah.
What's the painting tool that she's using in this process?
This is from the pandanus fruit. Yeah, as a paintbrush. She also uses it as eyeliner.
Eyeliner?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite a big brush for an eyeliner.
Oh, yeah, we have big eyes.
I wouldn't recommend it, actually, no.
Yeah, the girls are big eyes, are nice to have eyeliner.
The art of traditional siapo making is without a doubt a distinctive craft that symbolizes a vital part of our Samoan history and culture. To be able to witness the whole process firsthand was sincerely moving, especially when you're blessed to be in the presence of 3 generations of those who continually cherish and are keeping this eminent practice alive. It's an experience that I highly recommend. Not only do you get to see for yourself the traditional methods and tools used, as well as the final product, which was once our ancient form of clothing, but you are also immersed in a very sophisticated and fine piece of work that takes precision, patience, and time.
Nowadays, but it's good to have this family still carried on weaving the traditional role of women here on the island is weaving with siapo.
Afua'ang waterfall?
It's one of the best and one of the recommended sites on the island. And it's a hot island, so it's really need to refresh it or for you to cool it down. There's waterfall there.
Shall we?
Okay.
Palauli tulai mai, o mai e tatou ta whawhiawhia whawhonga tamanu, ua o. Fia tele, fia la mafufang, ilena palaulia, tugula ilungai whasaungeo ia pia, ua o.
water from the mountain, so refresh. And it's a big stream from the mountain all the way down to this river. I mean, to this, and it's covered by nature. And the special feature, so many water in the island, but the special feature is falling from the top. It's very special.
You cannot come to Savaii and not visit the famous Afua'a waterfall here in Wailo, Paloli. It runs through the Paloli rainforest and tumbles directly into a freshwater swimming pool, which makes it the perfect cooling spot for a hot day. Mupango Waterfall, which is situated on the southern part of the Paloli district, is an exceptional natural feature. Its uniqueness comes from the fact that it is actually the cliff point where the Lata River plunges about 5 meters straight into the Pacific Ocean, which furthermore makes it a picturesque highlight of your typical sightseeing adventure on this side of the island. Taking in some amazing views of the Mupango waterfall, we headed on to the Alofa'anga blowholes at Tanga Village, which was our last stop for the day. And I must say that driving through these villages is like driving through a perfectly manicured garden of all sorts of colors.
Right, Neve comes to the final stop of the surf side of the island from the south. And we are here to see the blowholes, one of the best in the Pacific.
It's been an enjoyable tour so far, and the drive towards the blowholes is even more spectacular with its beautiful palm fringe coastline and looking out into the Pacific Ocean. It's truly an adventure in itself.
I'm gonna light a fire, just kidding.
No way!
Oh, I will put this into the hole and show the power of blowhole.
It was a good time to come out here to the blowhole. And that's a wrap from us for today. Whaafetaitele Sam for being a great tour guide today. Join us again next week as we continue to tour the big island of Savaii. On Tawhaonga, experience our beautiful Samoa. I am Neve Gidlow, Tofa Soifua.
Fiji's diving is surprising. Reefs of great contrast and diversity. Soft, coral-laden pinnacles, shallow, hard coral gardens, current-swept channels, and pelagic-rich drop-offs. Strong ocean currents through barrier reefs lead to calm and protected coral lagoons. Fiji's diving is equally diverse and dynamic. Here, you can swim the whole gamut of underwater experiences and still never see it all. If variety is the spice of life, then Fiji is diving's red-hot chili pepper. Soft corals are only symbolic of Fiji's complete story. The soft corals' vibrant colors and giant size, the massive clouds of fish and clusters of invertebrates that live among their branches, the dramatic changes they undergo in their daily dance to the rhythm of tides and currents, and the many types of underwater environments in which they thrive. Fiji's remarkable soft corals embody all the elements that make Fiji's reefs so exceptional. Drama and diversity, brilliant lavish panoramas, deep water rich with food and shelter for the mysterious and rare. Fiji's marine realm is as splendid and unpredictable as nature can be. But to dive Fiji is to indulge in much more than the planet's prettiest soft coral and reef fish scenery. The nation's 300-plus islands and atolls are entwined in a complex system of barrier reefs so vast that an entire lifetime would not be enough to see them all. With about 1,000 species of fish, several hundred types of corals and sponges, an infinite array of crustaceans, mollusks, anemones, worms, and other invertebrates, plus new animals still being discovered by divers and described by scientists, the shallow coral garden and deep sloping shelf can reveal something different on every single dive. From busy cleaner-ras working feverishly, camouflaged ambush predators lying in wait, or banded sea snakes swimming without fear. But look away from the reef into the endless blue to encounter creatures of such size, grace, and power as to take your breath away. Divers in Fiji commonly meet gray reef sharks and silvertips patrolling walls and congregating in reef passages. Hammerhead sharks cruise near seamounts and pinnacles. Schooling during the day, hammerheads become solitary hunters at night. Elusive bull sharks stealthily patrol deep channels. White tips, tawny nurse, and leopard sharks are often found sleeping on sand or in caves. Using their electroreceptors, lemon sharks scan the seabed looking for a meal. Black tips scurry curiously along lagoon shores, and even giant whale sharks are sometimes sighted feeding on the plankton and spawn from the coral reef. Morays nestle in reef caverns, almost posing patiently for diligent divers. Cleaning stations are great spots for observing animal behavior, or stopping by for some dental hygiene and a manicure. Humpback whales migrate here from Antarctica to mate and give birth. Fijians have been protecting their reefs for centuries by declaring some of their fishing grounds tambu or no-take zones. Manta rays hover over reef-top cleaning stations or somersault and currents to feed. Nutrient-rich upswellings sustain resident populations. Barracuda swirl into sunbeams, and trevallies school tightly to guard against predators. Tangs and butterfly fish swarm at the mouths of channels where tuna squadrons compete with giant grouper as chief sentinels. Octopus use numerous defense strategies against predators. Color and texture change for camouflage, and the explosion of ink. Turtles protected in Fiji nest upon sand cays and graze on reef plants, allowing for close encounters with divers. Everything has its place, and Fiji underwater is a place that has some of everything.
Here in Fiji, we are blessed with a pristine environment. So the freshest organic produce, superfoods, and the freshest seafoods are in abundance here. Today we're going to cook vegetarian. So if you're a vegan, vegetarian, or you just love fresh vegetables, Fiji has a world of exotic produce to offer. It's our soil, it's our air, it's our water that produces some of the most delicious tasting vegetables. One of them, at the moment, seasonal. When I first saw these, when I came to Fiji, I thought someone was selling umbrellas. But this is a product of the cane industry here. This is called Daruka. And Daruka is unopened flower of the young sugarcane shoot. We peel the first layer off and then we grill them slowly over hot fire, and they burn, and essentially what happens is the flour inside steams and it cooks inside the sheath. So once that's done, cut these open. What I absolutely love about cooking vegetarian food here in Fiji is it's seasonal, and we still are very fortunate to eat seasonal. So this is the flour at the very bottom, see that? It's got the flavour of cauliflower or asparagus. It's got the texture, very crumbly texture. We need to take out the middle stem, and then we're going to cook with that. So what I'm going to do is a Daruka salad. Daruka goes really well, just cooked gently, and then I'm going to mix it with other vegetables. Our vegetable from the sea, this is nama, our sea grapes. Some people call them sea caviar. These are a family of the seaweed. High in all sorts of nutritions. We traditionally eat this with seafoods in coconut milk, but as a vegan dish, this works really well with the Daruka as well. These are already cooked. We peeled these earlier. Give it a nice brown coating on the outside. I'm just going to give it some colour in the pan, and it has the most unusual taste. A buttery cauliflower with nuts. That's the sort of the flavour profile of the Daruka. And when it's seasonal, you just drive down any of the streets in Fiji, you can see them on the side of the road. It's about $6 to $10 Fijian. A bundle like that can feed the whole family. It's still steaming hot, so we don't eat that centre stem, as I showed you before, and it's very crumbly. So this also works well in saucy dishes. The Daruka acts as a sponge, and it will soak up all the sauce that you put with it. So whether you cook it with creams or coconut milk, and I don't need to tell you the fibre content in this is what makes this one a really big winner. When you come to Fiji, you've got to try Daruka if it's in season, if you're lucky enough. I've got the otter, which is the ferns, which we've used before. These are just raw, so just washed and raw. The salsa, a typical Indian edition, salsa, onions, tomatoes, some spring onions. This is just fresh coconut milk. Try and get a really thick coconut milk. The way you can tell on the tins is you look at the percentage of water and coconut extract. The higher the coconut extract, the thicker the coconut milk. As a dressing, I want it quite thick. Some lemon, touch of salt, that's all it is. So this is what we call here a michi dressing, and this is the typical dressing that we would have with seafoods, meats, raw meats. I haven't added any salt to this dish, and the reason is this is where the salt's coming from, the sea grapes. So you're going to get that burst of the ocean saltiness in there. If you've never had sea grapes here in Fiji, just imagine caviar or fish eggs, that texture when you bite them and it crunches, that's what this is. And so it doesn't matter what time of the year you come, you can always get sea grapes. At the market, Sue, this is the fermented coconut. We call it a kota, sour, our version of the yogurt, but with coconut. As a different texture, as a different flavour profile on the plate. These are really perfect. You go to the markets, you can get the sea grapes, you can get the fermented coconut, a little bit of dried chili flakes, some coriander or cilantro, a touch of lemon. So you can see why I love cooking in Fiji when I've got access to such fresh produce. This is my Daruka sea grape salad. Delicious. We can't wait to welcome you back to our shores.